The road to greatness is never smooth, and for the young warriors of South Africa's under-20 rugby team, the journey to the Junior World Championship in Georgia suddenly became far more dramatic than anyone expected. Just days before the tournament, emotions were running high across the squad as dreams, pressure, heartbreak, and opportunity collided all at once. In the middle of it all stood Siphosethu Nebeleli, a fearless hooker with the weight of a nation slowly settling onto his shoulders. What began as a normal preparation camp quickly transformed into one of the biggest moments of his young career when head coach Kevin Foote delivered the news that would change everything. The usual captain, Riley Norton, had been called up to the senior Springboks squad by legendary coach Rassie Erasmus, leaving the leadership of the Junior Boks in new hands. For many players, such news could create panic or uncertainty, but inside the South African camp, it sparked something different: belief. The team understood that being selected for the Springboks was the ultimate dream, and while losing key stars was difficult, it also proved that this generation of young players was truly special. As training intensified in Stellenbosch, the atmosphere around the squad became electric. Cameras followed every movement, reporters searched for reactions, and fans across South Africa began debating whether this reshuffled squad could still defend their world title. Yet behind closed doors, coach Kevin Foote remained calm. He had prepared for moments like this long before the headlines appeared. Injuries, call-ups, and last-minute changes are part of rugby, especially in a country where talent runs deep. Instead of panic, the coach saw opportunity. He trusted the depth of his squad and believed the new players entering camp could rise to the occasion. One of those players was Thomas Belling, drafted in to replace Riley Norton after the captain's promotion to the Springboks. The young utility forward arrived knowing expectations would be enormous, but also understanding that opportunities like this rarely come twice. At the same time, another unexpected change shook the squad. Fly-half Vusi Moyo, another rising star, also received a Springbok call-up for the nation's championship matches against England, Scotland, and Wales. The excitement around his selection spread quickly through South African rugby circles because it showed just how much faith the national coaches had in the next generation. But for the Junior Boks, it created another massive gap in the squad. To fill that space, winger Cheswell just joined the touring group after finishing his duties with the Bulls in the United Rugby Championship. Fresh from elite-level competition, he brought speed, confidence, and valuable experience. His arrival immediately lifted the mood in camp, with teammates eager to learn from someone already competing at a higher level. But not all the news brought smiles. Rugby can be cruel, and sometimes the game tests players in the hardest ways possible. During South Africa A's clash against Zimbabwe in Kebra, utility back Zekathilo Siaya suffered a painful facial injury after being struck by a stray boot. The collision also resulted in a concussion, ruling him out of the tournament completely. For a young athlete preparing for the biggest tournament of his life, the heartbreak was devastating. Teammates described the silence that filled the dressing room after hearing the news. Everyone understood how much the tournament meant to him. Replacing him was Akalawa Bokwana, another talented winger eager to prove himself on the international stage. Though he entered under difficult circumstances, he carried the hopes of both the team and his injured teammate. The Junior Boks preparation had already been intense, but the pressure increased further after several players participated in the crushing 40-0 victory over Zimbabwe with the SAS side. Props Oliver Reed and Danny Kruger, hookers Siphosethu Nebeleli and Liam van Wyk, utility back Luan Gilliamy, center Marcus Muller, and versatile playmaker Yakin Ahmed all returned to the under-20 setup carrying valuable experience from senior-level rugby. Their performances had impressed coaches and supporters alike, proving that South Africa's rugby future remained incredibly bright. Yet another challenge soon arrived when officials confirmed that Yakin Ahmed would miss 2 matches after his yellow card against Zimbabwe was upgraded to a 20-minute red card for a dangerous tackle. In a tournament where every game matters, losing a key player for multiple matches could easily damage a team's momentum. Still, coach Kevin Foote refused to let negativity enter the environment. Speaking to the media, he praised the players who earned Springbok recognition and reminded everyone that representing South Africa at the highest level is every rugby player's dream. His words carried genuine pride rather than frustration. Deep down, he knew something important. Successful rugby nations are built when young stars continue progressing to the senior team. If anything, these call-ups proved the Junior Boks program was doing its job perfectly. The coach emphasized that the squad had prepared for every scenario imaginable. Every replacement already understood the team systems, tactics, and expectations. Nobody would enter the tournament feeling like an outsider. As departure day for Georgia approached, the players gathered for one final training session under the fading South African sun. There was laughter, nerves, and quiet determination all mixed together. Some players stretched in silence, mentally preparing themselves for the biggest challenge of their careers. Others joked with teammates, trying to ease the tension before the long journey ahead. In the center of it all stood Siphosethu Nebeleli, now carrying the responsibility of captaincy. He wasn't the loudest player in camp, nor the most famous, but his teammates respected his work ethic and fearless attitude. Leadership in rugby is not only about speeches, it is about sacrifice, resilience, and the ability to inspire trust when things become difficult. For South African fans, memories of last year's Junior World Championship triumph in Italy still felt fresh. Several players from that victorious squad remained part of this new campaign, including Rambo Kubica, Oliver Reed, Cheswell Just, Alzedin Felix, and Captain Siphosethu Nebeleli himself. Their experience could prove priceless once the tournament begins. They know what it takes to handle pressure, survive tough matches, and deliver when millions are watching. But defending a title is often harder than winning it the first time. Every opponent now views South Africa as the team to beat. Every tackle, every scrum, and every mistake will carry greater intensity. Meanwhile, rugby fans around the world are watching closely because the Junior World Championship has always been more than just a youth tournament. It is where future superstars announce themselves